Add to stream there. All right. I think I'm live. I think I'm going right. The Andy's there, Anna's there. All right. Let me know if you can see me. All right. Tell me that you can see me so I know it's all up and running and working, right? Yeah. Good. Good. Hola. Excellent. Okay. I'm a little bit early, but we're going to let people come on. They can all hear me good as well. Cool. Hey, Fleming, how you doing? Oh, Nydia, how you doing? I feel like up at Aberdeen. I've spent quite a bit of time up at Aberdeen, Nydia. I used to love going up there. The last time I went up there in a ship, which was when I was in the Royal Navy, the harbour, it was in January, and I think it was in January 1984, and the harbour was freezing over. There was huge, big lumps of ice floating about in Aberdeen Harbour, and we were. It was like early January, so we had to sail out. I used to be in the Fishery Protection Squadron at the time. Hey, Zoe, and we were like patrolling the fishing boats, looking after the fishing boats. And we went out into a storm, and it was freezing, and like massive big waves going like smashing over the front of the ship as we were leaving Aberdeen Harbour, and I got stuck on the front. I couldn't get off, or else I would have been washed over. It was freezing. But I used to love going up Aberdeen. It was great. And even better, I was Lerwick in the Shetland Islands. Now that is a place and a half, Lerwick. We used to love going there. It's literally the complete and utter Wild West. You can do anything you want, or anyway you could do in the 80s, I should say, in back in the day. And we used to be this pub right on the harbour. I've got no idea what it's called now, in Lerwick in the Shetland Isles. And when the tide came in, right, this bar where we used to play would fill up with the sea, and we would be in there playing pool up to our knees in water in the sea. It was crazy. Used to have some great fun there, though. Oh man, madness. Wouldn't be telling anybody what we got up to. I used to love going up the Shetland. So the only time I didn't enjoy it is the one time they sent me and my mate, I think it might have been Ponymoor, and we went into Lerwick again, to pick up the mail for everybody, because they used to send all the mail for the ship and it would get collected. Got a fly hanging around me. I've had a shower. Get away. And they would like send it to the nearest post office where you were actually working at the time, and they sent it to Lerwick. So we went in driving like the speedboat into the harbour, tie your boat up, and no one's going to touch it. Everybody knew who we were. Went and picked up all the mail, and then when we got back, it was getting really dark and we couldn't see anything. So we went out of the bay, and then we got out to like past like the protection of like the sides on there, and we could not see anything, and we got totally lost. It was really worrying. And then we went so far out that we were getting hit with big waves. It's only 12 foot long. It was called a rigid inflatable boat, an RIB. You might have seen them at like Royal Marines, like going out on the boats and everything, use them. We used to drop a lot of the Marines off, like doing the exercises and that. But so we're like panicking, thinking, I don't know what we're doing here. Can't see anything where we're going. And eventually we just thought, we're just going to have to go back to the harbour. We're going to get killed here. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Hiya. What's that say? Caramel soldier. Brilliant. But when we went back and they'd actually put on a big beam, like a like when you see the in the Second World War and the planes were coming over and they get the big beam searching and they were spinning it round to attract us. But so we went back, got back to the boat eventually. We've been away for like, whoa, God, 2 hours when they thought it would only be about 30 minutes. And they thought we'd been in the pub, you know. Hey, Claire, how you doing? Nice to see you on here. Yeah, they just thought we just diddled off to the pub, you know. But I guarantee you I didn't. It was quite scary getting stuck in the middle of nowhere, you know. But I've got a few things that I want to go over. So please bear with me because some things will be like going like, how would you say that? Going so like, back to basics really, because we're getting lots of new people as well, but you're getting tons of questions on how to do like these first steps. All right. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Great. Hi, Yvette. So I want to just go over a few things on the forms. Now you probably don't know, we've got like a couple of other people who've been helping me behind the scenes. Obviously, you might have seen on the group, the Facebook group this is, because we've got a couple of groups now. We've got a Telegram group going, but on the Facebook group, we've got Fearon going over a lot of research, and he helps, although you'll see him as TEE, but it's Fearon who does like a lot of research and stuff like that. And anything I haven't got time to research because I'm researching something else, I'll get him to do it. He's a brilliant researcher and he's on the point. I'm telling you, I mean, he's fighting anything to do with councils. The name of the Telegram group, I think, is the same. I'm not 100% sure because they set it up, not me. Or did I? Can't remember now. But they actually run it. I don't. They actually run it. Look at contract law, commercial liens, something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to go over the forms. I think I can't remember. Give me have a look. So let's have a look. Share. Right. I'm going to go over a couple of things. But anyway, there's a guy called Dimebar, brilliant guy, and also he helps a lot with forms, etc., research, etc. And again, on the sharp end, same as Fearon, working. They're always in dealing with what we're practicing. It's not they're just talking about it. They're actually, they're dealing with it. The same as me. I'm dealing with it, dealing with these companies and everything. We're also going to go over a little bit about like how this works and why it works. And democracy might sound boring, but it's going into the background of everything like that. I've made some notes because I know what I'm like, and get carried off the all we got there is hi Peter, but it's just got Facebook users, so got no idea who you are. So hi, how you doing? So I've got notes anyway, and then obviously if there is any questions, let me have a look. There's comments. Does that say it's just someone there? Right, I think this must just be it. So if everybody towards the end, I'll say, if you've got any questions, and we'll try and find something. I'm not going to go on for like 3.5 hours as normal. Oh, there's Dimebar. I've just been talking about you. All right, he's been doing some great work, and he's been helping a little bit, like changing the forms and everything. Hey Tony, hi Hula. The House of Mears, is that Jez? Is it? Just like making them a little bit better. I should have bought the book down. Now, what we did is when we started, when I want to go through this form, I'm going to talk about the LND, the legal notice and demand. I'm going to talk about the hold harmless indemnity agreement, the security agreement, the affidavit of non-corporate status, power of attorney in fact, affidavit of subrogation, although sometimes it gets affidavit of truth, but it's because it's written the same, but what it is subrogation. Hey Lone Wolf, how you doing, man? Got that's Jez still, isn't it there? Cool, brilliant. Catriona XRP. Where am I now? I forgot what I was talking about. All right, yeah, and certificate of annexure, and also rescind all signatures, which is like rescind all signatures. Oh, Ranald, how you doing? Good to talk to you today on Zoom. Dobbsy, how you doing? So we're going to talk about them and when to do it and how to actually set it up and put it together as a pack. All right. So I'm only seeing this now. I know, like, they've got like, where are we now? Just seeing it. There's like nearly 56 people on, something like that. And I know a lot of people have done it already, but like I'm getting tons of questions coming in about like, these basic forms. So the this will be on YouTube. It's on YouTube, recorded YouTube and Facebook. I know for a fact it stays up on YouTube. Okay, so there you go. And then I get sent the recording, and I will put the recording in the members area. I'm just laughing there because I got tons and tons of messages this week, right? And I haven't had the best week, I had hurt myself and everything, and the it's just like I had so much stuff on and everything, and I'm trying to put these stuff. I get like hundreds and hundreds of messages asking me why it's done up. I feel like writing back saying, "Because you won't leave me alone. I'm trying to put them up. Leave me alone." I'm just joking, but anyway, it's up. All the rest of the videos are up now. I don't think I'm missing anything. All right. But anyway, let's get back to it. So we have the legal notice and demand, all right, which is let's just call it the cover letter, for want of a better word. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it goes on top of everything. And the reason why I call it a cover letter is because we send it to the 7 people. All right. All right, we send it to the 7 jokers, the sinister 7. Okay. Whereas it has to be to them. Whereas, like, for instance, like the hold harmless agreement, security agreement, you're not writing to them. You're actually showing them that it's you, all right, that you're doing it for yourself. The security agreement and the affidavit of non-corporate status, you're telling them you're not a corporation. You're not an ens legis, whatever you want to call it, how you pronounce it, blah, 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 okay? But the L&D, the legal notice and demand, you're actually going to say on there, hello, Doris, right? Hello, Queenie, little Lizzie, all right, done out like that. So that's why I call it a cover notice, a cover letter, just because it goes on there and the rest of them go in there. Now, the way to do it, because I got asked loads of times today, the first thing, once you've filled them all in, right? Now, I've done quite a few for loads of people. They want me to do them for them instead, so I'll do them, obviously not for free. It's totally different and totally separate service. But I've done it, right? So what you do is the first one you have to send to yourself, just the L&D. You don't have to send them all. It makes no difference because you're going to open it anyway. All right. Do you understand? So you have the L&D, fill it all out, make it all ready. Let's just say it's off to Doris. Okay. Now, hi, Wendy. On Doris, right? Sorry, someone's asked the question. I'm trying to think about it. I got to stop doing 2 things at once. So you got the one to Doris, but you're going to post it to yourself. You don't have to change the name to yourself. You're just sending it to you, registered post, so it has to be signed for. All right, so that when it lands, you've created a contract with the postal union. Now, the way to do it, I haven't got. Let's have a look. So I actually did put. I'm going to share the screen. Right, I'm going to share the screen. Let's have a try. Share screen. Well, what do you share then? How do you do it? Oh, window, no, Chrome tab, legal notice and demand. I'll try this, see if it works. Yay! All right, now obviously I can't see you or anything. I'm presuming you can see this, okay? So I can't see you at all now, by the way. So the we have on here like the legal notice and demand. This one's to Boris. So we have the red part. It's like legal notice and demand number FS. That stands for Fred Smith. FS hyphen 3004. That stands for 30th of April 2021. You don't have to put the 2021. You can just put 21, right? But either way, it makes no difference. and then hyphen LND. That is your number, your LND number. Now here, to the right of this, we will stick a stamp, first class stamp or a £1 stamp, whichever one you want to do. And then through it, in red, with a red pen, you'll write your autograph. Okay, not a signature, not your name, but your autograph. So if it was Fred, because this is Fred's contract, it would be colon, lowercase FRED, colon, through the stamp, in red, over the top of the stamp. It doesn't matter if you've got a name like Engelbert Humperdinck, all right, and it's going to be huge running through the stamp. It can come out either side. It makes no difference, all right, as long as it goes and it's touching the stamp and it's red ink. Then the what you do is you get your red thumbprint, which I've got. I'm going to show you my little red thumbprint pad, and you stick your red thumbprint, so half of it is on the stamp, half of it is off the stamp. Okay, now on here it starts off there to Right Honourable, which is an absolute bloody joke. So that is the way that they get spoken about, unfortunately. Boris Johnson. So this is the first part that says Boris Johnson in red, because you know this is what you have to change. That's why it's red, people. Don't keep asking me why it's red. Then underneath it's Right Honourable again there, right? I'm only telling you this. I'm not going to go through every red. I'm just going to go through where it says Boris. So as we go down, all right, so you've got on here, now these are two different dates. The first one is the date that your birth certificate was signed, not the date you were born. Some of them I've seen are a month later, right? It's the date it was signed. And then the next date, because this is two dates here, that's the date that you're actually telling them you are not dead at sea, and you are not an ens legis, you are not a corporate fiction. And that is, like, say for instance today, and that's why you would put that date down. Okay, so obviously all the bits of Fred Smith there, and Fred Smith higher case, lower case, blah blah blah, going all the way through. But look, this is the next part with Boris in, so you need to change the bit with Boris there and Boris there. A lot of people forget them two bits. Okay, this is the bit where it says there, silence is acquiescence, and then silence of corporate office of him. So don't, like, forget to change that off. So you need the 7 people, right? And we've got the list of the 7, and that's who we have to change there as well. Okay, so stop sharing, press that. And do I go back to there? All right, is that it? Is that right? Okay, so this is what I do. I got this, all right. Open it up. There's a red thumbprint on there, and you stick that on the stamp, so it's on the edge of the stamp. Okay, now when you send the first one to yourself, you've got to wait till it comes, it lands, so you've got it delivered. Obviously right now we've got all these jokes going on, haven't we? So, you know, the postman signs it, doesn't he? All right, and then sticks it through your letterbox or gives it to them, but it's proof that it was delivered. So what you have to do is not just keep it, but then you print off the proof that, you know, if you go, well, I do mine online. I just can't. So I go on, I type it in, I send the notice off, and then when I get I know it's been delivered, it's roughly been delivered, I'll go and check on the Royal Mail website, and I print off the fact of what time it was signed for, who signed for it, and what date, and I keep it with the file. So if I'm doing, which I'll talk about in a bit, debt letters, for instance, then I'll do that. Or if I'm talking about this kind of stuff, the sovereignty stuff, and I keep it with that. So I've got proof that the Royal Mail, not me, the Royal Mail says it was delivered. Okay? So once you've got that, and you've got the proof that it was delivered to you, then you're going to send off the sinister 7, the 7 dwarfs, right? Poison dwarfs. You're going to send them the legal notice and demand, whereas you have to change it off to them. But then the hold harmless indemnity, the security agreement, the affidavit of non-corporate status, the power of attorney in fact, affidavit of subrogation, the certificate of annexure, and the rescind all signatures documents, all put together in one pack, and they all go off to the 7. Okay, and the same thing, you only on the LND do you put your name through the stamp, your autograph through the stamp in the corner where I've just showed you, and thumbprint over it. And only on the L&D, and then you go off, okay? All right. So if you haven't got a birth certificate, you don't have to write anything in. You know, when it comes off, it starts off, we've got the national insurance number written at the bit. This is to tie in with national insurance number, blah blah blah. Now with the birth certificate number, I would just put either available on request, or take it out altogether and not bother about it. Don't worry about it. If there's lots of people, I mean, there's several countries that I've been talking to that they don't get any birth certificate numbers whatsoever. So the you know, don't worry about it. If they haven't got them, then you know they'll understand exactly what's going on. What's I say before? Special. I don't know. Send it to yourself anyway, Brian. All right, just send it to yourself and make sure that you get it posted and it's signed for. Well, the postman will do it for you. Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. Get it sorted. Cool. Just quickly check. Morning. Good morning. I've got people all over the world, you know. It's brilliant. We've got them from Australia, New Zealand, America, all over America as well, because we've got big time differences in there. Excellent. All right, cool. So then once you've sent them off, and then you print out again all of the bits of paper from the Royal Mail, or well, it depends on how you do it, but I do mine all online. It's just so simple. So then when I've seen that they've been signed for, and they get signed for, some people do have their names written on, but other ones have got literally COVID-19 written on. But you know, so anyway, whatever's signed on there, I print it all off and I keep it all in the pack with a copy of what I've sent. And it's got all the dates on, who signed for it and everything like that. Mr. G, how are you doing? So, and it kept in the same pack. I need to get a bigger filing cabinet. It's getting full up. So I need to get a bigger filing cabinet. But as soon as I know that they've all been sent, now if you find one that hasn't been sent, a few people got it that it wasn't received or wasn't signed for, you've got to send it again. You need it to be signed for. Wait until all 7 have been done, and then after the 7 have been done, right, that is when, like 30 days later, when the last one's received, not the first one. So if something goes missing, you got to send that last, whatever one it was, again, and then you send off the acceptance, which is basically saying it's another affidavit. And what you're saying is, thank you for not rebutting, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you a further 7 days. You've accepted the fact that I am sovereign, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, the score, it's all written on there. Okay. Now, a few people get this guy, I can't remember, it's Kevin something or other, a paralegal that works somewhere or other. I think it's something to do with Cressida Dick. Now, that is not a rebut. You're not getting rebuts of some guy that talks absolute bullshit on his letter. So don't worry about it. I've given some people a little response. It's just basically shut up and mind your own business type of thing. All right, which is what you send off to him. If that happens, and it's the only ever one we see. I don't know why. He mustn't have a lot to do. It's obviously not him. You know, it's like Agnes in the office, which is getting given the job of sending off once a month, I think, or once every 8 weeks or whatever it is, you know. But anyway, right, once you've done that and then you've sent off the acceptance, then 7 days later or 10 days later, whatever you choose, then you are accepted. That is contracted. They've never rebutted, so that is silence is acquiescence, right? You've explained to them that have a contract. Now, this is the truth, and this works. So then you start going to the lower levels of government. So you've done it with every sort of like high up part of the government. You've done it now. So the forms that we do, that I've done, there's a few people that have actually put, like I said before, like put bits into them, like Dime Bob put bits on, Fear and put bits on, the legal notice and demand, and it's been formulated through the other procedures, so there is quite a few other people that do different things and have only got one document that they send off. We just do it this way. There isn't a right or wrong way, everyone's got different ways of doing it, and this one, it's fine and it happens and it works, so it's not a problem. Now, once you've dropped down to the lower levels of government, it's totally up to you who you actually want to speak to. As in, right, let's talk about myself. What I envisage that I'm going to have a problem with is the local council and the local clowns in costumes, because I think they're going to shut the whole country down again, September, October, and it's nearly September now. October, if we're lucky. No, or if they push it, maybe November, but I can see it, So they're going to shut everything down again. So they're going to try and close all the gyms again, because that's the only thing that actually keeps everybody healthy, or one of the things that keeps everybody healthy. So I'm going to try and keep mine open, and because of that, you're going to have problems. So I have to declare myself, make sure that they have the forms that I have been evidenced as sovereign by the Queen and Boris and Cressida Dick, who's the boss of the police. Now I send it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send it straight to the head of the council, because I've got his home address. So I'm sending it to his house, and the person who deals with Health England, whatever it's called, Public Health England. There's some idiot in an office up there. Send it to them, and also the local chief of police, who's his name is either I think it's Winton Keenan or something like that. Anyway, so they're going to get that, and that's what I'm going to send them to them, and I'll be telling them specifically that I'm evidenced as a private person, and I am living in the private, and even though I'm running a business, the business is in a private trust, by the way, which is also run on the private. So I don't use acts and statutes. They don't apply to me. I use God's law. All right. And that's what you have to do to try and set yourself up to give you an argumentative case where you can explain. But you've got to be able to do that and be able to stand on who you are and explain to people who you are. This is the biggest problem, right? Not understanding who and what you are. Okay. So you can't just turn around and say like, I've filled in this form. All right. And that's it, and I'm sovereign and nobody can bother me, because they will be bothering you. All right. They will be bothering you. So you have to be able to stand up and explain to them what exactly it is that you are, who you are, and not, back down to them and then let them run roughshod over you, roughshod or whatever. Anyway, give you a hard time and shut you down or do whatever. It's not me knee, it's me hip. Julia, it's my hip, which went into my back. I had a walking stick last week, for God's sake. But I've got this little TENS machine that I keep sticking on the injuries in it, and it electrocutes me. But it is getting better, and I've been able to get, like, today I've actually done more work today than I have done like for the rest of the week, the past week. So, which is good. And I'm going to try and get some more stuff done tomorrow, which I'm going to lead on to in a little bit. But then next week, hopefully I'll be able to push and get tons and tons of work done, because I have got a lot to do, and I am trying to work so hard for everyone to try and get. It sounds like a sob story. I didn't mean it like that whatsoever. But to get things in line ready for what I can see is coming. Now, when I'm saying this, okay, talking about all of those documents to tell everybody that we are what we are and we're not what they say we are. Okay, we're talking about democracy here. So I'm talking about real democracy and what real democracy is, because a lot of people and saying, oh, because they allow you to vote on certain things, then and everyone collects votes and blah, 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 count them. And then whoever's got the most wins. That is not democracy. All right. That is called suffrage. The democracy is not like that. Democracy goes back thousands of years, right back to ancient Greece, where you had what was called democratia. And there, the way that common law should be working. Yeah. Hey, I actually got took out by a 9-year-old boy, is what is like a couple of weeks ago, playing dodgeball with him, and he ran up behind and threw the dodgeball, smacked me right in the eye, and my eye was open, and it hit me right on the eyeball, and I couldn't see anything. Like, nearly stopped the whole class because I couldn't see how to crawl away. This 9-year-old boy beating the crap out of me, and it was sore for about a week. Is what and it's just like get hit on the eyeball, not in the eye. Yeah, I was definitely taken out. It wasn't a girl though. At least he was a boy when he beat me up, a little 9-year-old. What's it talking about? All right, yeah, suffrage. Well, that was suffering, but this is why we're saying we need to get off the electoral roll. You should not be on the electoral roll whatsoever. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for doing anything like that, or like we're talking about like you're seeing everybody doing demonstrations and marching and through London and everything, but which is all well and good, and you're showing them how many people there is out there that are unhappy and everything like that. What we need to do is, it would be great if we could actually. I was talking to a guy called Julian today, very good on straw man stuff. How you doing, Maria? And he went down to London, and he was handing out flyers, and it was amazing how many people did not know anything about this stuff whatsoever. I've never heard of the straw man whatsoever. Thinks that the government are right. Thinks that the government were there to rule us. And they think that, all right? Yeah, demon crazy, exactly. Who came first? The people or the government? The people were born, right? God, what did God create? God didn't wake up and they said, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the government, and then I'm going to put somebody called Daft Doris in charge of it. He created the people. He created us. So then, as like, let's just say it was Adam and Eve, for instance, to make it easy, because everyone understands what I'm talking about. And then it spreads out, and you've got the people, and then they look after each other. And democracy, right, as is supposed to be self-governed and everyone using common law, right, as in we will do no harm. So we don't harm you, you don't harm us, and that's about it, and if you do step out of line, then we have a court de jure. We have a court, well, let's just say it's 12. I know they used to do them back in the day in old England, Britain, where they would do like 100, sometimes 200. I think, can't think of the name. They used to call it, maybe it was even grand jury. But anyway, the court de jure goes on 12 people, which is coming from democracy. This is real democracy. This is what they've took away from us. This is why we need to do these forms. So I might look like I'm wandering off on a different direction, but it's not. This is the whole purpose of these forms, is to inform them that we want democracy back. Okay, to inform them that the only way that they can govern is through the people, and it is through democracy, not suffrage. Suffrage, as in 11 people said it and 10 people said this, then 11 people win. That is not democracy. That is suffrage. All right. That is the rule of gangs. Right. We've got more men than you, so we win. Right. That is not democracy. On real democracy, everything has to be done by a court de jure. On a court de jure, where you have a court of 12 men, and it used to be all men, right? You do know that, don't you? So just for instance, the word testify right, means that when they used to have to speak, they would grab the testicles. This is where it all comes from, all right? But on old times, when we did have a democracy, and we did have a court de jure. On the court de jure, you would have a court of 12 men. So the good case that we always quote is William Penn, right? Who was the founder of Pennsylvania in the United States. Now, he was getting tried for doing a sermon in the street, and they said that they weren't allowed to do the sermon in the street because he was doing the sermon. So they arrested him and his friend William Meade, I do believe, and they tried them in the Old Bailey. And there is a plaque in the Old Bailey still today, and they hide the plaque. All right, and it states there, these men, they said, yes, we are guilty of preaching in this place where you say is wrong, but this is an unfair and an unjust law and needs to be struck from the statute. Struck from the statute. That's all right, Don Maria. The politicians would never have been going into a court anyway. We all know they've got no testicles to talk of, so we've got no worries there. It would only be the real men that were going into the courtrooms. But yeah, so and what happened is when they pleaded guilty, right? But they pleaded guilty to an unjust law. So they had to try the unjust law. This is what a court de jure is. This is what it really should be about. And this is democracy. This is what, and this is still alive and kicking today, just hidden. All right, they won't let us do it. So that's why more and more people should be demanding a court de jure, common law court, if you want to call it that, but it's not. It's a court de jure of a jury of 12 men. Okay, so in this case, on case law, and they have the plaque in the Old Bailey, the jury found them not guilty. That's William Penn and William Meade, of saying prayers in the wrong place, or whatever it was, preaching, because it was an unjust law. And because they did that verdict, the law had to be struck from the statute and didn't exist anymore. Now, the judge went mental, locked up the jury, kept them in there with no food and water for a few days, but they refused to change their mind. And as they refused to change their mind, then they had to go back again and say, right, well, it is what it is. We'll have to get rid of that statute. We have to get rid of that law. That is democracy. So what we need to be doing is we need to be speaking to everybody who's got one of these stupid fines, right? For it be like opening your gym up, not wearing the thing, right? You know, whatever it is, right? And then everyone needs to be, or you see, this is why we need to speak to the protesters. They're protesting. We need to speak to them to do more action rather than march. Declare that I want a court de jure, right? I'm not going to pay this fine. By the way, you know, nobody, hi, purple carnations, how are you doing? When they're getting these fines and everything like that, it's in the law book specifically. It says that only a court, that when you've been found guilty of an offense, can actually issue a fine. No one else is allowed to issue a fine at all. So these like clowns in costumes writing them out and giving them to you, it's 100% illegal and unlawful. All right. But anyway, back to the point. So we should all be demanding, right, that we're not going to pay these fines, that we want to go to court for these fines, but not your court. We want to actually go and put in a court de jure of 12 men. And at that court, oh, men and women nowadays, but I'm just saying it as it was. And at that court, that's when we should bring up the point and say, right, now we want to talk about this 2020 C Act, because that is an unjust law. The same as William Meade and William Penn. They actually got that court to kick out the statute on a court de jure because it was an unjust and unfair law. And this still exists. This is still the law of the land today. Call it common law or whatever you love, but it's not, but it is the law. Okay, this is democracy. This is why I've put it second as democracy on my notes. Got my notes, look. All right, so that I could talk about that, because this is tied in with what we want to do. Get the forms in to say we're not your puppets anymore. This is why we all need to declare it. There's a few people that don't want everybody knowing about this. Don't tell everybody like this. But to me, I want to go down to the next march, say, for instance, in London, right, and tell 2 million people, whoever it is, look, go and do this L&D form. Do it now. And when you go home, right, you've done all your forms. Stop paying your poll tax, showing how old I am. Stop paying your council tax. Stop paying your TV license. Stop paying your water bill. Stop paying your gas bill. Stop paying your electric bill. That's how we actually hurt these people, because you're taking away all of the fiat currency, right, that they're trying to drain from you. That's all it is. It's not real money. It's just a fiat currency. But they're trying to make you suffer by draining it all off you. Okay, so what, this, which leads on to it, you've got to remember who we are and why you're actually telling them, right? We've told them now that we are not a person. We did it through the L&D, the hold harmless indemnity. All right, we did it through the affidavit of non-corporate status. The affidavit of non-corporate status point blank says, hey, I am not a corporation. I am a living man or woman, right? Living, breathing, flesh and blood creature of God, and it is of God. You've got to get your head around that a little bit. I had to get my head around it. I had a Scottish Irish Catholic upbringing, and it made me like not want to believe in God, because of the God that we had used to beat the shit out of you all the time, and just wanted you to suffer and go to hell. But anyway, so you got to change your perspective, all right, and realize that we are all a creation of the Creator. Okay, so remembering who we are, that what we actually are, that's why we need to be stopping paying all these things, because at the end of the day, right, where does the water come from? Well, it falls on your head all the time. Okay, so we're all getting rained on. So why are we paying for it? You shouldn't be paying for water. It comes out of the sky. I have a big bucket in my garden. I collect it. Then I have a distiller. Then I pour it in the distiller and it cleans it. Right? Then we put it in the filter and the filter it. Then we drink it. I'm not dead. So why do we need any companies to come and pour poison into it? Hey, Jalicia, how you doing? All right. So you shouldn't be paying for your water. All right. Electricity. They do not create the power. Okay. They do not create the power. The gas, they do not create the power. There's no such thing, right? They're saying, oh, the gas and fuel is fossil fuels. Well, I don't want to go too far down too many rabbit holes and get everybody going, oh my God, what is he talking about now? There's no fossil fuels though. There's nothing going to run out. Your gas isn't going to run out. Your oil isn't going to run out. It's there. It's in the earth. The earth is huge. It goes on forever. We've got no worries. You've got nothing to worry about. No one's going to pull the plug except for them. All right. But the same thing, the electricity, the water, the gas. I'm not going to go too much about that, about like how things work on here, only because it's not private. All right. So I don't want to say too much, drop myself in it or other people, but like you should stop doing it. Should stop. And right, this should be really interesting to you. I can tell you how to do it, but you can just say, for instance, you're, we pull the plug on them. Exactly. That's what we should be doing, right? We stop paying their water bills. We stop paying their council tax, and then demand all your money back as well. Get it paid all back from the bank. Now, you've got two choices, and you can't do both, by the way, because I'm still working on the 1099. Don't forget that. I am doing that. I'm still getting the forms and everything like that. I'm getting hit, and I'm having to do like this. It's not a straight line. What you can't, just for instance, if you can do it, like, stop paying your council tax, stop paying your water bill, but you can't do that and then demand the money back and then do a 1099, demand the money back again, because they'll see it, right? And they'll know you're naughty and they'll slap you for it, okay? So pick which one you want to do. Hiya, Ginny, are you all right? Is it morning for you? Okay. So, right. Also, when it comes down to that, we're talking about not being a person. We also have to realize that we can't be bothered, right, about what these people are saying all the time. And what I mean by that is we all hear it all the time. Mandate this, mandate that. You're going to do this. You must do that. But if you're not a person, then they're not talking to you. Do you understand? Or not understand? Do you comprehend? Because we don't want to stand under anything, do we? Unless it's the rain, and then we can collect it and then clean it and then drink it. All right. So whatever they say, I don't care. You know what they say that they're gonna mandate, or you know, all these bills that they keep putting through the parliament that they're gonna kill everybody because they're undercover and they're allowed to do it. It doesn't affect me because I'm a man. I'm not a person, so I don't have to worry about that. They can say anything they want. I do not care. Right? They can, like, you know, demand this, demand that. And fair enough, we might have to do some paperwork. Fair enough, we might have to do some arguing and everything. But I mean, the fact that at the end of the day is that I am not part of their ridiculous circus and won't be taking part. Okay? Simple as. So just remember that, bear that in mind. Okay? What's that say? I can't see. It's getting darker in here. It's like Nicola Sturgeon is wanting to make COVID rules permanent. Well, you know, at the end of the day, she's only 3'2" anyway, isn't she? You know what I mean? That's probably why she's so loud. She's, you know, like she's used to be in that that program, The Crankies, wasn't she? You know. So how can water threaten you with legal proceedings? Water can't speak. I tell you what it is. I can't say too much on here because it's going out to everybody. All right. The water, you know what I mean? They can't do anything whatsoever. I had somebody come round the other day and they were walking up and down the street for about an hour, and I was watching them and they're walking up and down and he kept looking at me, and then eventually came over the little bit of paper like that and he went, "Oh, can you give us your water reading?" I just ripped it up in front of him, put it in my pocket and walked away. You know, you know, and he's just like waddled off, right? Yes. Water comes out the sky. What are you going to pay for it? Like, you go down the beach. I've got a beach literally there. I can run out. I can dive in the beach. You know, it doesn't taste nice, mind, but you know, I'm not going to. What am I going to pay for it? I've got there's. I can see nothing but sea and water forever and ever and ever. All right. And the thing is, and this, well, you know, you got to clean it, stuff like that. You try drinking that shit, right? Have you seen what they put in it? Right? Look, it makes your hair fall out, for God's sake. Look. You can't. Don't drink that stuff. You're better off drinking this. Honestly, go back in the day when, like, say, Robin Hood, right? Which is what we are, all modern day Robin Hoods. And what they would do, the Friar Tuck, he would go and he would make all the beer. He would make all the beer, and he'd make it through honey. Now the and they'll drink beer and everything because all the water was poison, right? They couldn't clean it, so right, they made beer, and then the beer fermented, and it was safer to drink. That's my excuse anyway. Janine come in soon and slap me for saying that, but I think she's out with one of the dogs. But anyway, just remember that. Remember, so we need to be doing this. Yeah, who drinks? It smells funny. If you say, like, go to a local spring, there's a site, Find Me a Spring or findaspring.com, and you can go in and try and Friday night beer with you. Yeah, exactly, William. Yeah, it's like, well, it's like better off drinking beer than water, that's for sure. But like, don't drink tap water. It's disgusting. I don't even give that to me dogs. You know, I filter everything. You don't need to worry about your birth certificate, Martin. Stop drinking water. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't want to. I'm joking, by the way. But yeah, of course you can. You can do all this without your birth certificate. You know, you get the forms done, sorted out. You are a man. You're living. You're alive. The water. See what the clouds are going to do. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. I'm a weather forecaster. Stick my head out the window and oh, it's raining. There we go. Findaspring.com. There we are. I knew there was something like that. It was Tony told me to go and look for it the other day because he heard I was Peckham Spring. Yeah. Get the trotters to do your water for you. Yeah. No way, Pedro. Peckham Spring. I love it. But oh God, I've gone totally off now. Totally lost me reign of thought. But what I was going to do, what I was going to mention before we shoot off, is I am going to launch a completely separate website because this is getting very crisscross over with what we're doing. Now, I understand 100%, right, that all of the power and the corruption is kind of engineered and powered through fiat currency, through banking. The reason why what people call money, and it's not money, it's currency, it's completely different. All right. They created this so that we would have to like be, everyone's the same. I've done the same. You know, I was trying to build up, or I did build up a big property portfolio, and everyone's about like the next property, the more money, and it's, you know, never thought anything of it until then it's all taken away, and then you got which is what happened to me in 2007, 8, and 9, which is why I started really investigating like what was going on and seeing all these other people that were losing all of their homes. I lost mine, you know, my home as well as all the other property. Which didn't bother me at the time. I don't know, you just get on with it. You get the next thing, go to the next thing. And I've seen a lot of other people doing the same. And I know it's all about the currency. It's all about the sea, all right? And the banks are the banks of the river, right? They make the current go through the water. So that's what it's all about. Admiralty law of the sea, the water, right? Everything like that. That's what we call it. A citizen. You're not citizen because you got citizenship. Okay. You want a job, then you have to get an apprenticeship. All right. You got to start listening to the words that they're using. These people have created, they all think because of the sitting on Venice that they're on a ship, right? And that they can't get affected by God's law. So we all have, and they created now, right the way back to 1882 on the Bills of Exchange Act in the United Kingdom, and that spread out to the Commonwealth, all the other countries, right? Australia, New Zealand, blah blah blah, and then it moved over to the United States in the 1933 when you had the House Joint Resolution 192 with Woodrow Wilson and what's his name, the other one, who said, you know, they were going to fool every American by making them all put their belongings, property into our trust, their trust, which was the birth certificate. So you were signing over your children, which is what we do. Well, I don't, but like what you do when you sign a birth certificate, you actually give away your child to the government, right? That makes them now, which I was talking to a few people today, doing the forms for them, right? We need to do the affidavit so that we actually tell the birth register that you've committed fraud by not doing full disclosure. So we want to actually get, like, you got to tell me that that's not true. Obviously, the wording will be better. But then once we've actually got the sworn affidavit, then we do the de jure, right, which is coming from the common law, the de jure born declaration, which I have, which is replaces the birth certificate. Okay. But this is what they've done is they've created. They won't cut you off. They can't cut you off. Gas and electric. I don't want to say too much, like, because this is going out to everybody, right? So I can't say too much, but they will not cut you off. Okay. What's that say? I'm going to apply for an EIN if I'm going to. All right. Yeah. This is for abundance. It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, I've got an EIN number. I've got it. How do yeah, I've got one anyway, and I spoke to the IRS in the United States and the and I got it straight away. But I'll put the number up in there. I think I've actually put it up, but I'll put it up again. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, when I got my rainbow, I just get a bucket and I just turn the hand and it fills it up. Then I go and put it in my my water distiller, and it distills it, goes through. I know you can drink it from the distiller, but then I put it into the filter as well. But anyway, I was talking about the finance, right? Which is like how they've actually created this debt. Okay, all right, the debt. Which is what I want to talk about, because I'm going to set up this separate website, which has got nothing to do with like the democracy side, right? Nothing to do with the sovereignty side, but it is to do with debt, because that's what they create. So it does cross over, and I get asked it all the time. So I'm going to do a separate site, so we shove people over to the debt side, as well as having that, and it's going to be separated. Hopefully, that's the plan, anyway. So on that debt thing, right now, there's a few different choices that you have, because everybody was like saying, how do I do this? Right? You can go and learn all of this yourself on the debt. Okay. Find out about House Joint Resolution 192, which is from the United States. Also, have a look at the 1882 Bills of Exchange Act, but then also have a look at the GDPR regulations. They are brilliant for us, by the way. Now, the debt companies hate it. Have a look at the acts of parliament that work on debt. Have a look at the it actually comes under property, because when debt is created, it creates a deed. Okay, so I have to keep going off. Martin, we do not pay them for cleaning. We pay them for poisoning, right? We pay them for poisoning the water. Have you ever seen what they put in the water before you actually get to drink it, right? You should not be drinking that stuff. It is lethal. Yeah. You'd be better off drinking arsenic. Anyway, electricity, you don't pay for electricity either. Right? There's no name on that Facebook user. All right. There is no such thing as a power station that creates electricity. All right. There is no such thing as them doing this. This is all of electricity is free. Okay. Yeah. My dogs won't drink tap water either. All right. All of electricity is free. All of gas is free. It was all promised to us, right, for our sweat equity, because they had bankrupted the entire country. Now, the Rothschilds bankrupted England in 1815, which has took me totally away from the debt bit, but I have to talk about that. And then it was 1882, so it's filtering down. That they actually did the Bills of Exchange Act, and it's not an accident. There isn't anything an accident. What we're going through now is not an accident. Everything is planned. Everything is all about planning, about like how to actually keep them rich and powerful and us down below and poor and getting beaten up to crap. All right, that's all it's about. Now this has been going on for centuries. I'm going to make a video on this, right? Because we on Sunday we went out for a brunch. Okay. Now went to a vegan restaurant. Went for a breakfast, but it was a brunch. It was a walking through. Now everybody can do this, right? Every single what do you call it? Big city. All right. So I'm walking through Newcastle. It was great, really. I really enjoyed it because when I was going through, there was like loads of, I don't know if you've ever been up Newcastle or anything like that. There was loads of stag party people in. There was loads of hen party people in. You seen all of the young'uns that were out there. They were all hungover, walking with their suitcases, still got all the makeup on and everything like that. But normal. Not many. Not many. Comparatively, a few, but not many. Anyway, so we're walking along. And I'm taking photographs of the buildings. I'm taking photographs of the roofs of the old buildings. And I'm taking photographs of the bottoms of the old buildings. Right? So here's an archway of a door. And there's the path with a gap of about that far. How many people do you know this big that go in that arch? Why have they got a doorway that only goes there? Taking photographs of loads of windows, and they're talking about like windows where these are buildings that are hundreds of years old. So we don't have got a window like I've got a window. It's got a little ledge like that. They've got a ledge that's made of like granite, really like ornate, beautiful lintel, beautiful window frame made of granite, which cost probably more than my house. Okay, so why is it there? And then all the rest of the buildings above it. What's below it? Yeah? What's below it? It's not tunnels, right? Hang on a second. I'm just going to put this plug in. See, people think what we're going through is the first time it's ever happened. And it's not. You know? In the 1800s, latter half of the 1800s, and you hear a lot of books and everything like that, and you read a lot of books. And also the early 1900s, there was a lot of orphanages, and there was a lot of orphans, and they used to have fairs where you could go and literally buy orphans. Where'd they all come from? Where was the parents? All right. So I don't want to. I'm only just telling you this because, like, it just reminded me. Somebody said something there, and it reminded us because I enjoyed myself. Went out for like breakfast. I had a brunch in Newcastle, but like I was just like photographing them all there, and like people do not make buildings and bury half of it. All right, you don't make the biggest building, and also I will do this, and I will put the buildings up. Some beautiful, beautiful buildings, all the best buildings. Who did it belong to? There's a company name at the top of all the buildings, and all of the best buildings, the biggest buildings, the most beautiful buildings. Who do they all belong to? I mean, not one company, but type of company. Hang on. They all belong to banks. You know, they all belong to banks. But anyway, it was coming back. And because of banks, we're coming back again, right, to debts. And we're talking about debts. So I'm going to set up the debt site, which will just deal purely on the debt things, where we continue to do. We're going to always touch on debt, and it does cross over because we are talking about a similar thing because of the corruption that was created through the birth certificate and through this false currency, all right, which is not money at all, which what they've got everybody fighting over. You know, I mean, they're all fighting over, and they're fighting with their wives and husbands and everything because of debt. They create this debt, all right? So we can get rid of this debt, okay? So how do we get rid of this debt? We get rid of it by knowing how to do it. We get rid of it by talking about, like, or learning about the GDPR rules and about, like, the DPA rules, which is the what do you call it? The data protection, okay? Your data protection. Now, what you can do, if you want to learn all about this, you can do it all yourself. You can find out all those rules and regulations, all right? and you can go and study them all. If you haven't got time to do that, what you can do, and listen to me now, right? There's a guy I know, and he runs a site called the Observation Deck. Go and have a look at it's a YouTube channel I'm on about, another YouTube channel. Go to the Observation Deck, and you should go and subscribe to it. Some of you probably are, a lot of you probably are. He's got some brilliant stuff on there, not just about debt, but loads of things. He's one of us. He's one of us. But if you go on there, he also does like, hiya, my little doggy come in. This is my old one, 14 years, beautiful. Anyway, and on the Observation Deck, they do a course about debt. And and if you do that, don't just go and do one course, right? On what he does a course. It's called Debt Bomb and a Lean Machine and the Masterclass. There's 3 of them that he does there. I suggest you do all 3 of them, and that will give you a good basis to actually be able to help yourself with any debts that you have, and also maybe even help your friends and family, or maybe even other people. Okay, so remember that Observation Deck. Go and have a look at his channel, subscribe to it, have a look at the links, and then that his links, they'll take you to the courses, and I think it's called Gaia.com, like Earth, Gaia.com, and you can even join it, pay a monthly fee and join, and you get lots of other stuff from him as well. And he talks, and it's brilliant courses. So I've done all of his courses, done them all, and then I do more as well to try and cross-reference everything, so that you get a really good foundation and different ideas from different people. But his courses, I recommend them thoroughly, and he's a good guy, and he's one of us. He's ours. He's on our side. So, but it'll help you learn and understand about debt and why it doesn't exist. Okay. Why it doesn't exist. Okay. Debt is not real. Debt is like the same as these buildings that are built. There's the doorway there, and it's this big to get through. Who did that? All right. So the, you got there, man. Brilliant. I mean, the last one he did as well, which was called the Masterclass. It kind of ties it all together, if you know what I mean. Gaia, the what do you call it? That's like a website, and it's got other things. It's got life courses on and other stuff like that. Robert is his name, but good guy. What you say? One of us. He's on our side. So, but I'm going to launch that. And what I'll do is I know how I'm going to put it up on the channel, and I will put it, and it's completely separate, but it's going to deal purely in how to destroy debt and how to actually get rid of it. And now, like I say, you can do it yourself. You can go and learn it all yourself, learn all of the laws, rules, and regulations, or you can even do the course there with Observation Deck. He does that, and then you can learn it all from him, and then you can go and do it all yourself. Or, right, you can get other people to help you do it as well, because at the end of the day, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this website up so that, and it will offer a service. When I've got obviously people to help me. I've got people to help on all sorts now. I had to, because I was getting hammered in the head, and then I couldn't walk. But I'll tell you in a second, Chris. It's not a website. It's it just says Facebook user. It's a YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, the one you're asking for. All right. But listen, I'm there, and and in the membership side as well. This is what I've got the membership, which is part of the the sovereignty. What do you call it? Would you call it that? But I've got my normal membership, and on the normal membership, I'm gonna actually be doing that debt help there as well. This debt help is amazing, right? We can actually, because we know the laws that they're using are fraudulent, right? It's all fraud. They're so blatant. They don't care, and they've got away with it for so long. And I'm talking about, because I know you're still talking about water in the comments, the water companies. I've never paid them for well over a year. And the last time that they actually threatened something, and they threatened it with an act, an act of parliament. I thought, brilliant, because acts don't apply to me. I'm not a person, so who cares about acts? All right. And it's the same. And someone's talking on here. Will, you know what I'm talking about? We came up and sorted out the meters, you know, so we've got no worries with anything. And like when we was talking to Will, and we went out and had a look at the coast, even if they stop this food supply, you can all go down to the beach. And when we've got tons of it down here, and apparently, right, all the seaweed's edible. So we can go and just eat seaweed. And some of it tastes nice, apparently, as well, so I'm told. So we're going to, and it rains water, so you can just clean it in your distiller, right? And then go to the beach and eat the seaweed. And if you don't live on the coast, then you can go foraging and eat weeds and berries, apparently. So, you know, we've got nothing to worry about. We are not corporations. We are not persons. We don't have to bow down to these people, okay? And then worry about the debts as well. All right. So the seaweed, it's really good for you. Will was telling me all about it, and I'm going to buy a book. That's it. So if you go to the observation deck, which is a YouTube channel, and then Robert, and then on there you can like go click on it and you take it. And then I'm not saying you have to do his courses. What I'm saying is, like, you know, if you want to learn how to do it yourself and look after yourself, I will. Exactly. Go and eat all that seaweed, Will. And the and then straight up into the countryside and pick all the weeds. There's chickweed. Our garden was full of chickweed. And then because I had to build a new shed and also clear out the garage. Listen, because pragmatism is what gets us through, right? Prepping through pragmatism, not prepping through panic. All right. So I now have a cleared up. Well, I haven't got it clear now. I had cleared the shed or built a new shed. So cleared all the shelving and then built a new garage so that I've got at least 18 months worth of prepped military supplies. All right. But it's pragmatism. It's not panic. So I'm ready no matter what happens. And if it got down to like the nitty gritty at the very end of it and we had to go out like eating seaweed, then we would. And then collect the rainwater and drink that and eat the seaweed. So there we go. We've got nothing to worry about at all because we are sovereign and come under God. So they can go do one. So that's why we find out all about the debt, and the debt can do one as well. And so can the council tax, and so can the water bill, and so can the electric bill, and so can the TV license. None of you better be paying for any fucking TV license. Janine's telling me off for swearing. Only she's allowed to swear. She swears like a trooper, she does. Yes, she do. But anyway, no, I mean it. You better not, right? Doesn't even make any sense. Okay. It's just nuts. But anyway, so all of them things we should all be stopping and getting your money repaid as well. Go into your bank and you tell them, look, under the direct debit, can't remember the name of it, but you can get refunded for anything that was fraudulently taken from you. Water bills were fraudulently taken from you. They've been filling you with fluoride and poison and lead. You paid for it. Get your money back for it. TV license, if you've paid for it, right? Well, who supports pedophiles? So get all the money back because like the pedophiles have been putting that on there for like brainwashing, tell lies, vision. Exactly what it is. So get all the money paid back for it. Go on and do the direct debit insurance scheme. Something there's a special indemnity, something like that. But you can go in and you complain to your bank and say, look, this is fraudulently taken. This water is not correct, and I want it done. Then you do direct. There you go. Direct debit guarantee. It protects your consumers, customers. Get it back, man. Right? You got to have the. All right. Tell me off to go ring the bank or even email and just say, look, and I want this money now, right? Because like, you know, the water was wrong, the rain man was wrong, all right, the electricity is all paid for anyway, all right, everything like that, and get it paid back. But remember, if you do that, you can't do a 1099 as well. If I find out that I can do it, raw vegan balls, yes. Well, you know, today, right, is the first time that I've actually been able to use my what's it called? A dehydrator. So we juice every morning. We've got go to a farm, buy all the fruit and veg from the farm. Don't like go to supermarkets or shops. And then like what we do is we juice every morning, and we've got all this pulp. Try to give it to the dogs. The dogs didn't like it. So anyway, so we've got a dehydrator. And now what we're doing, I did it first time today that I actually managed to do it properly. And I got flattened it out, all the pulp, and we've been eating these, not loads of them, but like biscuits. So, and it's again, it's like, you know, showing how you can like make your food last longer, you know. But that's we use that dehydrator. So we've got the water distiller going on one side and the dehydrator going on the other side, using all this free electric. Why is it free? All right, because Tesla invented a machine, or probably somebody before him as well, which is the toroidal coil, right, which creates electricity all the time for free. It costs nothing ever to create electricity. Okay. Hi from Canada, Janelle. Delilah, you got a dehydrator called Delilah. I don't know what mine's got called. Thrown away from alone. There's loads of good like water machines and stuff like that. Direct debit refund. At the end of the day, right? I've been going through this tax. It's not tax, council tax legislation, and you know they're lying from the back of the teeth all the way through the front. Council tax is only applicable to commercial buildings. What they've done is they've lied about the way that they actually charge you, so that it's called a dwelling. And what they're saying is a dwelling is where you live, and it's not. It's commercial buildings. That's all it applies to. That witch, that hideous witch, Margaret Thatcher, she created what was called the poll tax. Now it's called a council tax, but it's the same thing. And it's for commercial premises. Okay? All right? It's for commercial premises. But what they've done is they've actually just completely ridiculed the way that it's set up, and they lie to you, and they just, that's how they get the money from you. So you can stop it. Now, I've got the legislation written out and everything, but we're going to push it through further, which has got nothing to do. See, what I want to, that's why I want to keep it completely separate from like debt, and I'm talking about credit cards and bank loans and stuff like that. Unsecured debt. We've also got stuff we're working on mortgages, but like it's a different thing. You got to like do everything in the right way. You just got to do it in the right way. Simple as that. But knowing that it is all fraud and knowing that they are lying, that is the best thing. Okay. I've got 16 trays, Tony, but I've only used 4 or 5 today. I don't know why I got 16. I just thought I was clever. And then I was thinking, well, what am I going to do with it all? But hey, it was good. Tasty stuff that I've done on the dehydrator today, and well chuffed with myself. What's that there? Yeah, the three letters process and the affidavit, you know, it really works well with the council tax. You know, at the end of the day, is remember, I mean, it's like it's too late for some people, but on the council, you've got to really watch them, because you can catch them out on fraud so easily, because they say, oh, you're going to send you a court summons. Ask them for a case file number. They do not take you to court. What they do is they hire a building in the court, and they hire some solicitor to pretend to be like the magistrate, and then they just stamp all of these things and send them off, right? It's complete fraudulent, and you can catch them out doing it, because ring up the court and say, well, when is this booked in? Find out and get proof that there is no court case for you and your address and your name. And this is when we're dealing in commerce. This is why we have to be standing outside of commerce but dealing in commerce. Okay, so you have to be the man, the living man or woman, but deal with the capitalized name. So you are the agent. You're not that fiction. You understand? And then find out when they're actually trying to pretend that they're doing this court case for you, because it's just sitting there stamping it, and then and still flies here, and sending off these court orders. All right, it's just absolute insanity, and fraudulent, and you can prove it, and it's so easy. Yeah, magic rate, exactly. You know. So anyway, I don't think I'm going to be on too much longer. Just checking on me notes to make sure that I've covered it. Yeah, and it's been all over the place jumping, but it's like everybody else asking, so it's not bad. If you do have any questions, start throwing some questions in now, okay? And I'll pick them up. But yeah, like this is what you should actually. Who can take unpaid bills out of your wage? You haven't got any bills anyway. You know what this is like. These aren't bills. If they're asking you to pay for something that they've never actually created, it's just robbery, isn't it? And nobody can take something out of your wages. Yeah, I tell you what, like when when I was talking about going through Newcastle and seeing it, there's a big doorway and it's buried like that. Have a look and Google. Now, I don't want to send you down too many rabbit holes, but like mud flood and Tartaria. Just have a look at it, because this is not the first reset that's happened. There's tons and tons of stuff that's happened before. What's that? HMRC 1099. Can I tell you so they get lost? The 1099 has got to do with the IRS, not the HMRC, which is the same thing, but the IRS actually tax HMRC. So you can still do that. Now, I have the video from Daniel from Australia who did all the tax forms and everything. And I've been so far behind on everything, that I haven't got his video up. He does the he does the income tax form, shows you how to do it. Then he showed me the photographs. He got all of his tax he paid for 3 years. He got it back, and he pays no more tax anytime forever. And he shows you how to do the forms and everything like that. Okay, and the 1099 was you're dealing with the IRS, and it's not tax. 1099s deal with security creation. Security creation is this, right? What you would call a sign of nature or a signature, all right? You create finance by your signature. You don't borrow money. Banks don't lend money. You create money by your signature, your sign of nature. It becomes a promissory note, and they actually deposit it and then give it to you. So, that somebody asked a question and it jumped up. I was just reading it. Hang on. So, excuse me for that. Sorry. Yeah, Tommy, I will be doing stuff like that. We're all, it's all in sort of like the makings, and we're doing the guides, if you want to call it that. Oh, every time I touch things, they disappear. The form that I mentioned, Jez, regarding claiming the birth certificate. Do you mean where we do the de jure birth declaration? Is that what you mean, when we send the affidavit telling them that we know that it's fraudulent by creating the birth certificate? Yeah, you're probably right there, Tony. It's been destroyed and restarted loads and loads of times, I think. Make people disappear. Yeah, man. Nobody should be paying a TV license. Nobody, man. Do you know what it is? I sent them. This was quite funny. I sent them a notice, and I had put tons of stuff on about how much they disgusted me, and that, like, I'm not being part of you pedophiles, blah 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 blah. And then they sent me it back and saying, "Thank you for telling me you don't watch television." Which I don't. I've never watched television for about 2 years, but I just thought that's not what I said. I told you we're a bunch of pedophiles and that you're supporting pedophiles and I don't want nothing to do with you. And now you're just telling me that I don't watch TV. Oh, so anyway, I just left it though. I'm not paying them anyway. It's like, but make sure you're not paying. And this is what all these people at marching, I'm not taking anything away from them. They're being brave and they're doing all that. But I tell you, they should be doing that. As soon as they finish, go back and continue. Right. And do you know what we need to do? We need to be forming, right, the organic Commonwealth of the United Kingdom, which is written, right. This is how they write United Kingdom, right? They do it like that, right? That's full capitals, or they do it like that. Oh, my pen's running out. Might have another one. They do it like that. Again, pen ran out a bit. But again, full capitals, right? That is not real. That is a corporation. Okay? So it needs to be... I'm writing it small now, so you'll probably never see it. Right? I'll write big for organic. Well, right? It's an organic United Kingdom. It's not in capitals. So we are running the organic United Kingdom Commonwealth. That's what we're all part of, the United Kingdom, organic United Kingdom Commonwealth. So we need to form the United Kingdom Organic Commonwealth Peace Force, not the police force, because they are just policy enforcers, enforcing the policy of the company to create, to take the money from us. So we need to create a peace force that can stand up to the police force. That's what we should do, and become the organic United Kingdom Peace Force and then protect the people of the organic United Kingdom Commonwealth and whatever other country that you actually live in. Still in the Commonwealth, even in the United States. Hang on, let's go down a bit. Mud floods. I love reading about the mud floods and everything like that, Housing association rent is like you'd have to make your own mind up about that, because you're in the housing association. I've seen other people that say don't pay it, but you're in the housing association, which is like a group of people working together. So I really don't know. What's that say? Is it true? Oh, where's my bloody glasses? These letters small, Is it true if debt collection agency sent... Oh, where'd that go? Send you a letter claiming that they will enter your property and take your possessions. Does that break the rules of a contract straight away? Well, that... they shouldn't be writing like that anyway. I tell you what it is. Any debt collection agency sends a letter to you whatsoever. Okay? A debt collection agency has no standing in law. A debt collection agency has no contract with you, right? They should not be talking to you. They're not allowed to talk to you. They're not allowed to have your data under GDPR rules if you're in United Kingdom. Okay, maybe a different... I mean, they've got other data rules for other countries, but I just know the GDPR ones. So if you've had... I've got a lot of information in the membership as well, just about this. But that's why I'm setting up the other website as well. So I kind of keep it separate because my members like that are in there, you know, they deserve it. And there's a lot of them. Anna, I've seen her writing, she's used the process that I put up there, and they've got rid of a lot of debt. And so has a lot of other people as well. They've got rid of a lot of debt. Daniel, that I was talking about there in Australia, he got rid of a lot of debt using these methods. You know, these methods work because it's the law. We're not breaking the law. We're actually using the law or their rules, if you want, that they created. So no, as soon as you get any letter from any debt collection company, they're only writing to you because the debt's been closed. It's been paid off already. It doesn't exist. So they have no chose, C-H-O-S-E, chose in action. They have no right to be talking to you. So you just write them a letter, not a letter, actually a notice, and stop them even. And if they're saying that they're going to come in and take your possessions, you know, it's nothing about like breaking a contract. They haven't got one. They haven't got a contract. And if they say they got a contract, which they do, they're lying. All you got to do is ask for a true commercial bill. And you want to see the full accounting. Show me the true commercial bill. Show me the contract that I signed with wet ink, right? And they can't because you haven't got one. Okay. Common law court. Don't go to the common law court. Right. When I'm talking about common law, the word common law comes from Richard II, King Richard II. And what he done is he made the law common throughout the land because like had this castle owner, a lord, had his own rules there, and this one had his own rules there. And he actually made it common, and he traveled around the country with his court. Okay, King's Court. And now it's called Queen's Bench. But you know, anyway, I'm not going to say anything about other people, but don't do anything. What does that say? I'm getting stuck in the 1099 OD. What percentage of our currency creation does the IRS rebate? Do you mean back to us? Is that what that means? The way that I'm working it out now, and by no means on top of it, I'm getting more and more to know what's going on with it. But on this 1099, say for instance, just say we've actually signed, and I'm talking about an electronic signature. Anything that's gone out of your bank because of your actions is a signature. It's powerful signature, be it by your card or direct debit even. Still, it's electronic signature. Okay. So if you call it 100,000, you can only claim 75,000. 25% of it has to be left for the IRS. If you don't take any of it, the bank take the 75%, the IRS take the 25%, and you don't get anything. Okay. Well, yeah, Marie, probably even less than that. But they're not buying it. They don't buy the debt. They buy a list. They have no contracts. They have no forms. They have no legal standing whatsoever. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to set the website up and I'm going to do a service to actually literally disintegrate. We call it, I think it's called, it's not up live yet, so don't go on it. But I'm not going to tell you because it'll end up getting messed up. But anyway, it's not dissolve a debt because like that was too complicated, but we literally get rid of debts. We don't like you got debt consolidation companies or debt management companies just give you a bigger debt, like, and make it longer, right? So that's not what I've set up literally to smash the debt. And some of them that I'm still working on are like literally got rid of 500,000 in debts so far over the whole year. So it's quite a lot, and it works. It works because we're using their rules and their laws. Okay. Yeah, well, I am going to be doing like information to like help people getting the direct debits back with stuff like that. Okay, for the water and the council tax and everything, and it's gonna get sorted. Okay, all right. I can't remember ever mentioning anybody that would do that for 30% commission. The only people that I've tried to do 1099 with was in the United States. There was a guy said that we could do something in the UK, but I don't know, they did it for commission, but now they've pulled back. I've tried to do it with Tazdak in the United States. And then I was two other courses that were trying, both of them from the United States. Now, the one of them actually is good that I'm still learning now. But I don't recommend anyone else's courses. I don't recommend people try and even do the 1099. And you can watch me try and do it if you like. But the I don't know. People do it in this country. I certainly wouldn't ask anyone else to do it, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else do it either. And I certainly wouldn't recommend another company unless you can get the course off them. But everything that I've got is physical, and I've got it. Everyone else is talks and then they don't give you anything. But the ones that I've got have all been physically been from the United States. What's that? Right. Okay. Yeah, Jethro, you can pay. I've paid them with not promissory notes, but like money orders through an AFV is how I did it. You know, you definitely can put. You should be putting. Everybody should be in a private trust. Everybody, you should be in a private trust. Where's my thumb? Children should be. Grandchildren should be. Property should be. Your DNA should be. Your blood supply should be. Right, you should be everything, so nobody can touch you, your DNA or anything like that. That should all be in a private trust. Okay. Now, again, the same thing. I'm nearly there on being able to make private trusts, community trusts, as well as your own personal private trust. It's going to happen. It's going to happen very soon. We're getting more powerful all the time, which is probably why they're getting nastier, because they can probably see, right, that things are happening to actually make it harder for them to rip you off all the time. Don't go to Citizens Advice Bureau at all. It's cabal, right? Never go near them. But obviously, it's different. You don't know what how far people are down with things, as in what's happened. No, none of them are. Interesting. Now, just as a Tony, why did they tell you that? Did you say something to them? Because I'm getting it, but I didn't tell them. I didn't ask them permission, and I get everything. You know, so I don't know. The yeah, you're too right, Mom Jez. Like, it's the last person in the world you want to speak. You know, go and get yourself a what do you call it? When I walk down the countryside, someone stuck a pair of plastic rabbits outside. So you're walking along the path. You'd be better asking the plastic rabbits for advice than the Citizens Advice Bureau, that's for sure. Some of these words are so small. Who did you tell the car was going into a private trust? I'm working now on being able to set up a private trust. I have actually done it for a couple of people, and I will be doing it for a couple of people. But I'll be doing it. See, I can do it, right? But I know the but it's not big, or it's just these words are small. I need it for reading. Cheeky bugger. But yeah, I can do private trust. I have done a couple for people because I've needed it at that specific time, very, very urgently. But I am going to be able to set it up so you can do a private trust, and also that you can have like the community trust. Okay, two different things. The community one's going to be easier for people to go in that can't afford a private trust, so you can go in the community one and you can put your family in and stuff and name it. But you'll see it as it progresses. We're trying to push forward hard. We're trying to help as many people as possible with everything, you know. And we're trying our best. We can only do so much, but we are. I think, you know, and we're getting there. We're getting there, and we'll try to be. No. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna have to shoot soon. What's that say? Private trust is 100% the way to go with everything. Private trust, and that's why I'm pushing. I've actually pushing more on the private trust thing, because I tell you as well, I've been set up this whole debt website and everything like that. But do you know what? A private trust actually touches on that so much. Private trust actually helps with debt. Private trust helps with mortgage fraud. Private trust helps with everything that you can imagine, with all the types of, like, you know, everything like that. And the letters of a V, the letters of a C. You know, it's absolutely private trust is everything. Sorry. All right. Well, I have no idea about that, you know. I mean, private trust. It's got to be. Well, on the website, I'm going to put, because you can book a call on the website, but I don't advertise it because I'm not trying to like get everyone to try and, which, you know, I don't want people to think, oh, I just want you to go and book calls with them. I'm not bothered. But, right, there's a lot of people asking there, which I've been on them all day today and yesterday. And I will send some. I'll put a link in here actually to book a call. All right, I'll put it in when it's finished. It has to be finished, and they have to send it all off and do their thing, and then you can put it in the description. But I can't do it until tomorrow. So if you want to put a call, book a call, I'm going to put a link in, and obviously you got to do it and pay for it for that. Okay. Yeah, they always say that. Do you know what it is? It's like, doesn't matter if like people saying like the if of these and not real and everything like that. You know, these people, we call them Agnes in the office. Now, if you've done it, you must have been on the webinar. And I always say on the webinar, same as all the time, is conditional acceptance. Conditional acceptance. 100 times conditional acceptance. Next letter comes in, conditional acceptance, right? And that's it. But you never do it with your own bank because you need to keep them separate. Okay, you need a working bank as well. Okay, but I'm gonna have to shoot off now. Okay, Janine's gonna come down and slap me head for being too long. She's shouting on me now. All right, so I'm gonna have to go. Okay, so like next week, like I said, I'm gonna do it for like the membership. You know, it has to be for them as well. They're the private members, which is the gold and silver membership. I will put the link in, which I've got one link and it's like choices. So you can pick one choice on there, like book a call. Can't remember who it was, and I was asking for it. And it's a line of their book this or that or that. Okay. And I'll put it in once it's set up. I can't do it until tomorrow because they have to do all their thing with it. All right. But take care, everyone. It's been good. I enjoyed. Had some fun. And I will see you all very soon. We'll be back on. Next week I will be doing the like I say, the webinar, which would be the webinar for like the private members. And but I've got other videos that I've already done that I need to put up on YouTube. I just never got the time to actually put them up or anything like that. But we'll get there. Okay, take care, everyone. I'm very, very pleased. Rain Man. Yeah, collect all the rain, clean it and drink it. How can they charge you for rain? It falls out the sky, all this water and the electricity. I walk around on the floor and then touch myself and I get an electric shock. So I create my own electricity as well. All right. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all soon. All right.